Hi, I'm Chris, N9CVR. A long time no see. Yeah, we'll get into that in another video, but just life, you know. So a good long time ago, I bought myself this thing. This is the TYT TH-350. It's very competitively priced with Baofangs and the cheap Chinese radios. But to my surprise, it is very surprisingly spectrally clear. Meaning I hit the button on 2 meters and I don't get all sorts of other transmissions like in the 1.25 meter band or the 70 centimeter band, etc. And actually, I really love this radio. It is, I've got a little bit less rugged of an antenna on it right now. But boy, you can beat this thing around. I mean, you hang on to it and it kind of gives you the feel of one of those commercial Motorola radios. But I really wanted to be able to talk on 1.25 meters, and this doesn't do it. So I got myself this. Let's open it up, see what it's like, and see if it is as okay, we'll call it, according to Part 97, as this guy is. All right, so let's clear a bit of room off. We need that later. And here's the box. By the way, I do apologize for there's some noise back behind me. That is the pellet stove. It's just a little nippy out. So still, I'm sorry, I'd rather not freeze. It's not the best idea. So here's the box. TH-350 tri-band FM transceiver. Tri-band, tri-display, tri-standby. And they've used 3 different ways to say try. Okay. All the other various stuff, emergency alarm, we can turn that right off. Scrambler, we can turn that right off. 1750 hertz, we won't need that in the US. All that good stuff. There's something a little, we'll call it sus. I punched that FCC ID in. Yeah, that doesn't exist. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, there's the box, recycled. Yeah, I don't know. Let's open it up. Okay. Okay, yeah, that bugs me a little that was put in there like that. It's a little bit uncool. They claim that this is a tri-band antenna. I suppose we can throw it on the VNA and see what happens with that. Nope, there is no markings on it or anything. I didn't know whether I was going to get this or not. I suspected maybe I'd get an antenna, but I didn't know what. Let's just do this really quick. This is the antenna I have on the UV88. The Diamond RH77CA. This one is a BNC model, and there's a beard hair in it. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, that's not a copy. No markings on this tri-band antenna. Okay, well, there it is. We'll see. For the record, the RH77CA is 2 meters, 70 centimeter, and wideband receive. So this is not a 1¼ meter antenna, nor did I have any intention of using it as such. But there it is. Yeah, okay. That would explain why half of the materials in the box came out with the box when I tried to open it, because they tried to force this thing in, and hopefully it still works, given that they literally tried to bend this around a corner. Yeah, that's not really cool. But user's manual, channel storage and deleting. I planned it. Wow, I plan to just use Sure. Verification QC Pass 01. Hey, you can always use another of these cables. That's nice to have. Here's a little stubby antenna, and this says 220 to 260. So this is your 1¼ meter only antenna. Fair enough. Here's power brick. 12.5 volts. Okay, so I could theoretically charge using this base from a power supply. There we go. English is being a problem. 8.4 volts. So input 10 volts. 12.5 volts. I'm seeing some interesting stuff. But the other thing that's interesting is this charger does not work with the UV88. I kind of wondered what. Oops, it's not. What the heck? UV88 can live right here for the time being. I was kind of wondering whether it would work. Okay, here's battery. Yeah. Okay. And let's just, I know this answer, but I want to double verify. Yeah, okay, this battery does not work with this radio, so they're definitely not interchangeable, is what I'm seeing. There we go. Okay. Charge the battery separately from the radio. So that's cool. Oh, wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. Okay, there's the pocket clip. Great. Here's the 2 meter 440 antenna. So I think original design, they're expecting you to swap antennas back and forth with an SMA. And then whatever reseller decided to give you this tri-band antenna as well. Pet peeve when people call them antennas. But there it is. Let's peel that off right away. Let's plug this guy in. I wonder if I can get a USB-C version of this battery. There we are. Size comparison. I don't know. Kind of similar-ish, I would call them. Well, let's get rid of this box, shall we? See if we can do this. Size comparison. I mean, this guy's a little wider. This one's sitting a little taller because it's got a pocket clip on it. But I mean, they're very, very similar. I feel like you're not changing the size much and getting a band. So, cool. Okay. You also get an extra knobby thing here. Ooh, that's an encoder. Fair enough. Okay. That's just your Kenwood jack. See how much battery we have. That looks like a full battery. And for whatever reason, all programmed to 438, 525. Okay, so here we have the TH-350 on the bench, and I've got it hooked up to a 40 decibel attenuator and the tiny SA, which I forgot to turn on. There we go. And basically what we're going to do is do some spectral purity tests. You're probably just going to have to mostly believe me, because I mean I can show you on the screen what we get, but I was messing around with the app for this, at least the Windows app, and yeah. So basically I'll take measurements manually. The plan is I'm going to get dBm measurements, and what we're going to do is, yeah, hopefully you can see this a little bit. Maybe I can scroll a little bigger, something like that. Yeah, there we go. One more. There we go. It's about as big as I can make it. We're going to do the 2 meter band on 14652. We'll do first, second, third harmonics on the 2 meter band, and then same thing for second, third harmonics on the 1 1/4 meter band. Without further ado, let's get going. Alrighty, here we are. Let us hop over to 14652. And I push the button. Gonna wait for it to stabilize. 35 dBm. Which works out to 3.16 change watts on a 5-watt radio. So I guess I'd rather it was 5 watts. Okay, let's check the first harmonic here. We're on 293.04 minus 28.9 dBm. Okay, we're good there. The second harmonic, let's whip this thing around, whip it real good. There we go. 439.56. .6 dBm. Did I do something wrong? That kind of seems like I did something wrong. Nope, 5.6 dBm. Let's get rid of this graph here. Yeah, no, positive 5.6 dBm. Epic fail. Epic fail on the second harmonic. All right, let's try 586. Minus 29.4 dBm. Okay, so right now what I am seeing is this radio fails on the 2 meter band pretty epically on the second harmonic. Let's look at the 220 band. This actually really bothers me that these Chinese radio manufacturers seem to just completely not care to get this right. Okay, so now we're looking at 223.5. Hit the button.
there it is at 35.3 dB. Okay, again, 3.3 watts. So, okay. Let's try the first harmonic. Again, remember to do harmonics, I need to switch the input here because I don't have a cool VNA. Excuse me, I don't have a cool spectrum analyzer. We're going for 447, so... Alright, here we are at the first harmonic. Minus 32.4. Thought I saw a different number. Minus 31. Minus 31.29 point. Come on. Minus 31.4, I think I saw. Minus 31.9. Let's try on the second harmonic. Here we are at 670 and a half. .6 dBm. Like, seriously, are they even trying? Which, yeah. Let's try the third harmonic. All right, let's key up. Minus 33.4. So basically what I'm seeing here is that this radio fails both in 2 meters and 1 1/4 meters pretty epically on the second harmonic. So yeah, this is going to get returned. Notice again, I'm not testing 70 centimeters because there isn't really a spectral purity rule there. But this transmits with lower power than you would expect, and it fails spectral purity. So, fail on 2 counts. So, pardon the weird filming of monitors, but here's the 350, and this is the cable that it came with. And notice this is Windows 11. And basically, if you want to program the 350, theoretically, Chirp is in there, but or Chirp is supposed to work-ish with this radio, but actually it doesn't. What I mean by that is, let us, how do we want to do this? Let's go to voice menu, or voice memory, there we go. And right now, channels 1 and 2 are supposed to be programmed for the same repeater. Yeah, they clearly aren't. So something funky is going on. This is from programming it on Chirp. So that obviously didn't work. And to Chirp's defense, they did throw up a little dialog box saying that support for this radio is in alpha stage. So, yep, here it is, alpha stage. But next thing I realized is with the cable came a mini CD-ROM. Yeah, no CD drive on that. So there's a problem. Finally, I ended up finding it on TYT's website.
And it comes as a file called this monstrosity right here. You install the prolific driver, and then you go to do the setup. Here's what you get. Yes. I may have already done this. Yeah, pretty much. So clearly, I'm gonna, well, maybe not clearly, clear as mud. I'm gonna guess that this software got written in Chinese, and this is my computer's attempt at writing Chinese. So, yeah, but anyway, with that, by guessing, I was able to install it. Yeah, we know it didn't install correctly. There we go. And I get this thing here. So clearly I'm not going to be able to program this radio using this software. Okay, one more postscript. I finally thought, I think somewhere I have an old DVD drive, and sure enough, I did. There we go. So I got this little unmarked, I don't know if this is CD or DVD, it doesn't really say. It says programming software in it on the, you're not going to be able to see it. But anyway, I put this in and it actually had software that works. It's clunky, but it works. Well, disappointed much? Yeah. I will be returning this. I've got everything here to pack up, and we'll be reviewing it on where I bought it from. Yeah. I don't like to be one of these people. My first radio was a Baofeng, which, by the way, was not spectrally pure. It is no longer in service. It seems like I kind of lucked out with the UV88. Your mileage may vary. Or maybe, shall we say, TYT lucked out with the UV88. Because clearly they don't know how to make a radio. Ranging from coming up with fake FCC IDs. What the hell is that? Really? To, like, what are they doing? Absolutely zero filtering on the second harmonic? Or, like, I understand failing the spectral purity test, but I don't expect a more than 0 dB fail. That's bad. Like, bad. We have software that basically doesn't work. We have an antenna that is claimed to be tri-band. It's actually a copy of a dual bander. Challenge to the Chinese radio manufacturers: start making stuff that is worth selling. This might be about as angry as you'll see me get on a video here. Yeah, I spent roughly $70 on this radio. For a $70 radio, I expect it to work. I cannot recommend that anybody buy this radio based on my experience. Obviously, your mileage may vary.
And I guess I'm pretty disappointed with TYT. Like, yeah. If you like watching me get riled up, etc., yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Sorry I've been gone. We can talk about that. And we'll see you on the next video. 73.